Hello and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. I hope everybody's having a great day. And before we get to our intriguing guest that you're going to love, you're just going to love, and you're going to want to see all of it. Let me just mention a couple announcements and then we'll get going with our special guest. All right. So be sure to sign up for my newsletter, which is my Ascension School, Academy of Divine Wisdom. I have a free 30-minute Christ-like meditation, the same one I saw in the NDE. And I also have those of you interested that are suffering through grief or whatever, the southernbellmedium.com. You can check that site out. I also offer starseed services on my Academy of Divine Wisdom.com. And I have some courses and things paid and free, some really good ones. And finally, I have some Galactic merchandise that I designed, and such as I work for the Office of Christ and the Galactic Federation. That was my announcement. I'm going to bring on our guest. Let me tell you a little bit about this person. Super excited. And he is an out-of-body experiencer, a near-death experiencer, an abductee, a contactee, he was part of the super soldier program, and an ET communicator. And I have lots of questions for him, and he's going to tell us about his spiritual journey, how all this unraveled, and how he found out all these aspects and fragments of himself and where he is now. And he also invented this amazing device he's going to talk about with the Dees company. And it's a healing device. Yeah. How do they see people that have abilities or sensitive to frequencies or intuitive or whatever you want to call? Do they have a way of sensing who those people are on planet Earth?
Yes, because so many other races, the vast majority of them are telepathic because they've developed their skills, which we will as humans too. We'll get there. We're just not there. They've developed that. And so they've put those consciousnesses, they've figured out how to put those into their spaceships, their pods and their orbs and their whatever they might be.
That's so cool. Right. Yeah. They integrate their consciousness with a, what do you call it? Frequency. I've been told like bioluminescence, and then they're it's organic. It's like an organic blending. It's like, it's something we don't have here. We'll call that
we do. We just, it's not been released, not been told.
Okay. So, well, let me go here. People that watch my channel are really sharp. And most of us are pretty aware right now. There's probably not such good things in our food, in the air, and those chemtrails. And there's some of that technology you might say would be alien technology used against us. I've been told, because of this effort that's not very good, this is one small fraction, okay, that they have breached the contract to not intervene so I've been told some of the particles are being, inactive. And so I feel like we're getting assistance because the basic agreement's been broken. So we still have to do the work, but there is some interaction. I think it comes in forms of individuals. How do you see this interaction from I'll call it star family. That's a much more friendly term.
Yeah. Well, to start with, there are many, hundreds of races that are waiting for Earth to get to the place for contact. And
can't wait.
I can't either, but
I dream about that. That's like Christmas,
Yeah. It'll change everything in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then there are other races, the positive races, the benevolence, really don't make contact with this. And I know there are some famous people that say they do, but they don't realize they're being fooled too.
You did again. You dropped another bomb. Okay, go back on that. Okay, so some people think they're talking to whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not. Who are they talking to? They're being manipulated. Or are they just making it up? I hate to say that. Here's the thing. Okay. So this is.
And I'm not saying that offhand. I literally have proof, and I know for a fact.
No, I believe you. You're very credible. That's why you're here. I think you're awesome. Okay, but this is my thing. Look, like I know everything. I know me as a person and my abilities, just me. Okay, and through childhood and the accuracy. And then I also know I trained heavily to get evidence. So now I get evidence like crafts like there it is, like big, so I know I get evidence. So when I channel, I personally, because I'm trained that way in my head, there's a part of me that's analytical and serious, that I want. Now, I'm not, look, I can go there in these areas, but it's nice to occasionally get evidence. And so I believe in evidence, because if you're channeling and you don't get evidence somehow, whether it's in the environment, whether I get scientific stuff and I give it to a scientist, I don't know, and they go, yeah, it checks out, that's evidence. But if you just channel and you don't get it, it could be, pardon me, bullshit. What do you think? I mean, how do you discern that? That's why I'm a little nervous about channeling, because I don't know, that because of the whole thing.
It all comes down to the individual and their resonance
and their intent.
You got to follow your heart. If your heart, it doesn't feel right, then don't follow.
There you go. Yeah.
But the basic, okay, go by this. Everybody, it doesn't, even if it's what I say, what anybody says in the world, even if they appear to you and look angelic, whatever their message is, if it's doom and gloom in some form and fashion, don't listen. Absolutely.
I agree with that 100%. If it comes, it's just like anything I do is healing, a place of love. It heals the room. It's loving. It transmutes energy for something dark family thing to this beautiful healing session. Then it's coming from a divine, loving, glorious place. But if it's something,
not do any other thing, no benevolent will ever, 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 in any way, shape, or form, for no reason whatsoever, in perpetuity throughout the universe, will ever say anything negative. They just won't.
Well, the thing is, who you're dealing with by the message.
Yeah.
And
that's what I tell people. Yeah.
And I also have gatekeepers like Michael, and I work with Christ, and you could say he's from another planet. I don't really care. I love him. The point is, he's
yes, but he's great.
He's great. He's great. He's great, and I trust him, and he brings me all sorts of really cool people. And but you're right. It's the message. I want to ask you just to further that, and then we'll go off of that topic. But so, you're in the community. I mean, you hear a lot of the channelers, and I'm not beating up anyone. I mean, God bless anyone for having the bravery to come out,
I agree.
But what is I'm just being candid. I just want to know, what is your thoughts on people? What was that experience that you had that turned you off? That's what, don't tell them, don't say the name, but so people know, because I think people should use discernment. And I say that all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And, I didn't expect to be talking to the Galactic Federation. I'm like, they said, it's time to remember, wake up. And I was like, okay, it's time to remember. I said, why? He said, you've been doing this eons. You got to wake up. Okay. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But anyway, what about people that do this? How can people use discernment? And what happened to you that I just tell people this, and I don't think they listen. You can't just, and you got to use your own discretion. You're connected too. Everybody's connected. So what was your thing on the channeler that you didn't like? Don't mention the name, but what was it?
Never.
Yeah. Yeah. Just experience wise.
Yeah. There were tremendous lies.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and
untruth.
Yeah. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't lie to people.
No.
There's just no negotiation with that. You cannot lie to people. And they're like, meh. And so then I was accused of horrific things. And I'm like, that's just the most crazy lies I've ever heard in my life.
I got it. Well, you know what? There is Star Wars, there's a dark force out there, and the brighter you shine, people are going to knock you down. But guess what? We're one ultimately. Yeah. And the more people come together in love, it's just been, I didn't expect it. It's pretty awesome, but like a love fest, like people are like totally on my back. I have their back. I would never betray anything. And it becomes pretty clear who the ones that are not high vibe, and they got more work to do, and I feel bad for them with that. But yeah, truth is an important thing, because if you don't have truth and integrity and valor, what do you have?
And truth isn't always comfortable. Truth isn't always fun. Truth isn't always desirable, but it's always necessary.
Right, I agree. And so okay, so that's your thing on that. You're saying when it comes through dark and untrue, you're like, okay, yeah. And the other thing is a lot of people are trying to prophesize. I don't what I've noticed with that and myself is I'm like timelines are changing a lot. And I've noticed that 4 years ago
Yeah.
that I would see different things happening and so and then it would be a certain way and then it would change again. So why would that be? Why would our consciousness change the reality? So I've never seen it fluctuate so much. Now it's starting to level out again.
Well, that's part of the human evolution of the brain.
Mm,
'Cause
okay.
we are evolving, and these interesting things are going to come through. And like when you're in the Olympics, I mean, just the recent Olympics, all these records are being broken, right?
Mhm.
So that tells you humanity's evolving physically as well as spiritually, and well as the brain. It's all evolving. It's part of their process right now. When I was working with on the Secret Space program, one of my jobs was to erase memory or take memory out. I mean, I didn't enjoy doing it, although sometimes I felt I was doing service to somebody that was traumatized.
Yes,
Some of these
absolutely.
soldiers come back
Mm,
horrified and saw terrible things, and I'm like, oh, let me help you. We'll take it out. Of course, I
mm.
only did what I was told to do, but the fact is I did feel like I was doing service at times. Sometimes they were begging me not to, and I didn't have a choice. I had to take them anyway. So that's where I was introduced to the Deems device, and this is a Deems device.
Oh my. Okay, now
Um,
tell us all about it. And is
this
that
one is
similar to
gold,
what you used?
what they used it for was the whole memory transfer and soul transfer in the service.
Oh,
But the
oh
one
my
I
God.
built, this is what I wrote a contract with the government when I left, and said, I'm going to release this to humanity. And they're like, that's fine. They signed the contract. They said, you're not going to remember it anyway. I'm like, yeah, I am.
You're like me.
They're
Yes,
like,
I
yeah,
am.
I am.
It's
They're like,
funny
no, you're not.
when your soul goes, yes, I am, because
Yes.
that means you are.
So I'm pretty sure I got a double dose of memory erasal, but because most of the stuff that they did, that's why I have a hard time remembering names, I think. But anyway, so
Got it. Okay.
I made a contract with them to release this, and what this is, it's technology given by other races. It's basically similar to the Ankh from Egypt. It does
Okay.
some of the same things. It's magnetic.
All right.
There's 13 magnets running in series here,
Mhm.
creating a loop of energy, very, 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 very strong magnetic energy. And then this is also a magnet, and this magnet is polarized this way. So as the energy comes up and around, this one's pushing it that way, right? So it creates a vortex of energy. And that vortex comes out about that far. It's like a little, like a tornado, like a little tornado.
Okay, right. That's how I was visualizing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like a
And then at
okay.
the tip of that tornado
Like
is
a
like
funnel. Like a funnel.
exactly. But
Okay.
it's energy. So it's sucking in energy from this side, right? So this actually can penetrate the skin. It can, whatever, you can penetrate it. And what it does is the northern pole of the magnet, where it comes out and the vortex is coming out, we would use that for pain relief, and it really does work. It relieves pain, but and the other side regenerates tissue. So because it's pulling energy out, right? So this is pushing energy in, because you can see the silver. This side,
The silver is what side does that do?
this side, it's like a vacuum sucking in energy.
Okay.
So when you put it against
Okay.
your skin, it pulls energy out like a vacuum.
And what does that do when it does that?
It regenerates tissue, helps
That
to
is cool.
regenerate tissue.
That is cool. Okay, what about inflammation? Everybody's got inflammation on planet Earth.
Yeah.
I really want mine gone.
Yeah.
Does that do that?
It does assist because what it does is it moves, and you can find this on the National Institute of Health, the National Library of Health, the neodymium magnets, which these are, helps to motivate and move away pain factors, inflammation, and moves it along. So it gets pulled and stuck. That's why we have pain, and then once stuff is stuck in here, it swells. When it swells, we get pain because it's pushing against the nerve.
I got it. It's like meridian points. It's stuck there.
It's exactly right.
It's like, oh, go to here, attention,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
it doesn't know to move. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I just made an agreement that because this also works with the chakras.
Okay.
To this piezoelectric energy, which is what our brain creates. Piezoelectric energy, and created in our pineal gland because we have calcite crystals in there. And when you put it under hydraulic pressure, it's like a quartz. If you hit a quartz with a stone, you'll see a spark.
Yes.
Because it creates energy. Well, it does the same thing in your brain. And this creates the same energy because there's piezoelectric energy, and that's what's in our nervous system. It's created in our brain. So I'll tell you how to create piezoelectric energy. It's either hit a quartz crystal with the stone, which we can't do, right, to heal ourselves. Or you take a magnet and force it to go against its polarity. So this is how the magnet wants to rest, okay? Yeah. So I take it and I turn it and I make it go this direction against its polarity. So it fights a little bit to go there.
It does.
And then when you do that, you're creating piezoelectric energy, which is the most natural energy in your body that you could possibly have.
So would it open your pineal gland or where it's calcified? Because we're constantly being like I stopped using aluminum, back in the day, my mom used it, Reynolds wrap. I'm like, no. But all these things that calcify, would it put up there and it would just spark it open?
It does help. I will say that with me, I haven't seen a difference because I was all this has been open for a long time.
You're kind of open. You're like,
so
I can't even close. I can't even close it now.
I cannot.
I'm seeing cryptids in the backyard. I can't close it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was a little kid, even as a kid, my third eye would be spinning and vibrating like a bee was there. And I would have to cover it just to go to sleep. I'd have to cover it up with my hands.
Interesting.
So it's been open forever.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Mine too. Yeah. I just didn't want people to know stuff and things. But that is amazing. So people can buy that directly from you at the Dees company.
Yeah, deemscompany.com. I make every single one myself by hand.
Wow.
And they're not all gold. This one is gold plated. It's an option.
Okay.
They're a little bit expensive, but they're expensive to make because they have 8 carats of diamonds in each and every one. Even the ones that are silver.
You're kidding. What does the diamonds do?
They help focus in the magnetic and piezoelectric energy.
Really? Yeah. I just would have never thought diamond versus crystal. Diamond was really
the best crystal you can use for focusing of energy.
So let me ask you this. We're going here. I remember doing first of all, I remember doing this medium demonstration, and I was wearing these. It's in the southern area, so I was wearing these big crosses, and then I had, should I wear like my sterling or should I wear my gold? So my guides one day started talking to me, and they said, "Well, we appreciate it. That's very nice. You wear your costume jewelry. Silver is neutral, but if you want to enhance your ability, wear your gold."
Yes.
And so that's why that's gold, because he said it will really amp it up. And also, I take Ormus gold. I take it, to open my pineal gland because you can drink gold. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think you can take too much, so be careful. But I think it's a good idea. The thing, we've always heard. How long have we heard? Women live longer than men because they don't work as hard, which is utter BS.
Right. Yeah. Not really. Yeah. I don't. So what's the deal? Why?
Women wear more gold and diamonds.
Oh my God!
I support you buying gold and diamonds. It is absolutely the best thing you can do on a passive way to extend your life.
Oh my God, that's what they told me, and they said no. They said it, and they said that it goes back to Egypt and before that Atlantis. But they said that's why you need to do it. So you know what you need to do? You need to look like with the gold chains, like a rapper. That's what you need. You need to load it up, and then that'll really amp it up.
Walk around these huge chains.
Yeah, exactly. And then people like, you're setting a new trend. You're like, no, I'm trying to vibrate at a higher rate. So
mostly it's because the reason we have our wedding bands on our left hand is because that's where one of the places energy comes into the body, through the hand and through the shoulder.
Oh my God.
So you're pulling in the energy from diamonds and gold if you're wearing it on your left hand.
on the left, and then healing usually comes out from the right.
It comes out
right
through the heart, comes out the other hand.
heart, and
as
goes
a
out
beam.
here.
You can do this beam of energy. That's what I do when I do balancing and healing work with people.
Really? Okay, so tell everybody about your healing work, and then they'll want end off so you can go on your day. But yeah, I always love these images. I have these images like superheroes, like stuff coming out of my hands. I just love it. It's just cool. But why can't we help heal each other and heal ourselves?
Well, we can.
Yeah.
You just have to believe it's true.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why you're here. So tell everybody about your services. I know you're so busy. I'm surprised you still do services because you do these talks all over the place. So what kind of healing services do you offer?
Well, I just finished what I guess I don't like the term med bed, but it's a bed that you lay on, and there's several types of energy that you're encased in a bubble of energy. It's open. It's not like you're in a tube. I can't.
Right. Yeah, no tubes.
You have magnetic energy, piezoelectric energy. You have scalar and Rife energy, sonic energy, photonic energy, and that's about it. That's enough, right?
No, that's so cool. Yeah. So you were channeled that too. So I had Tesla come to me a few times. I'm like, and I felt I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, because first of all, I'm like Tesla, and I'm going, that's really nice you're telling me, but why are you telling me? Because I don't know anyone to produce this. So I do know a couple scientists, but they're not really interested. Yeah. So you were told to do this. Are you going to manufacture it all over the place so we can all get a part of that and purchase that, or services, or be able to? Do you know what I mean? Buy time to go into these things.
Well, it does, and I've been supporting everything. That's where any Deems that sold goes toward developing the bed. And
okay, good. That is great. That is good. You need to really make that big, because I was in marketing, really big on your site, because that's a really important thing for humanity.
Yeah, and so that's, I mean, this is personal, but I literally for 4 years haven't taken a salary. Because every single thing goes in toward developing this.
I'm not surprised. You're that quality person. I get it. And guess what? We're looking at the timeline. I mean, right? We need to make sacrifices to make it go well, right?
And absolutely, yeah. Because it's like I like nice things. No doubt, I have nice things.
Sure,
but they don't mean anything.
Well, we're not taking that, but we take our spiritual knowledge, right, and our accomplishments and our spiritual decisions, which is really strange to think about it. They're being archived, everything we say and do, and I'm like, gosh, I got to hear that back. I'm like, say a bunch of dumb stuff, but I'm like, oh, great, my life review is going to be like, it's going to be like hee haw. Anyway, oh my gosh. So, but this is helping people, and you're helping people. Do you have any projects that you want to tell people, or anything you're involved for them to participate in?
Well, right now I'm still doing trials on the bed. It's fully operational. I work with my engineer and my friend, and his name's Lawrence Bayshore, and he has the photonic part of the bed. That was his invention, and I had the other stuff. And then we met one another, and we're like, wait, you have half of it, I have the other half of it. So let's get together. That is beautiful synchronicity. What a beautiful partnership. Yeah, and he's the same way. I mean, he doesn't take any kind of salary whatsoever, and we're really just trying to make this stuff available. Having said that, what my plan and hope and goal is to continue to develop it and create healing centers that actually work with trauma, work with old life, past life stuff, so that you can begin to let it go now, so your body can begin to heal. Oh, I just feel that really in my heart. That feels so powerful. And you really need it everywhere, because I know a lot of people on the West Coast. I know you're in Hawaii, but there's people on the East Coast here too. We need that as well. And we need it really in key, just like we need to be in key points and different areas. Well, I'll support you when I can list it on my Seeking Heaven channel. I'll be happy to help promote it. I mean, it's a thing that's going to help humanity, and I commend you. And at some point it will, you're not doing it for a profit, but at some point with time, maybe everything will work out. But for right now, you're just trying to get it up and going. Just trying to get it there. Yeah. So, it grows as it grows, and the progress is what it is. And it's your baby. Yeah. It's your baby it's your child for humanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because that's really why I'm here, you know, and all of the experiences I've had, the reason I've decided to share them is because I would like people to learn what I learned without having to go through the experience.
You know
if
what?
that's possible.
You can. And the other thing that I've noticed recently, you know, especially if someone has trauma, you can experience it from that little child perspective or a third person perspective. You can switch it. And you don't have to experience the full pain. You can say, okay, I acknowledge the pain. There it is. It was kind of awful. Okay, I'm going to pull back some of that emotion so I don't have to feel it all. And I think people don't really realize that. And you can also learn from someone else and avoid the whole thing. So we
Yeah.
don't, I think the whole point is the pain and suffering aspect. We need to change the dynamics of that.
I mean, it isn't necessary. We make it necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it's because I guess we're thick-headed. You know, we say, oh, we're going to really make an example. So I think that you are phenomenal, what you're doing, who you are, how you're speaking your story, which is still evolving. You're still evolving.
Yeah.
And I just thank you for your time and who you are.
Oh, it's been absolute pleasure. I got kind of excited a few times, and I like that. You know?
Oh, that's good. Because I really wanted to have this conversation. I wanted people to see you and to hear us talking and just, you know, being in the moment. And people are asking these questions already. They really are. They're very alert at what's going on. And I'm sure there a lot of people are going to be really turned on to your product because it's going to help. So thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime. If you have a topic, you want to promote something, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.